Hey guys, what's going on? Time for another YouTube video. This is the last one I'm doing from the backyard here in Ontario. The rest will be getting done down at ICAST in Orlando at the Orange County Convention Center. But I wanted to give you guys the top 4 new releases from Shimano before I got on a plane and headed down to ICAST. My first video I will do when I get down to ICAST will be a walkthrough on Tuesday. I'll show you the Shimano booth and some other booths at ICAST, just so you guys have an idea exactly how cool ICAST really is. It is not open to the public, unfortunately. It is for writers and manufacturers and purchasers. So it's going down like it does every year, second week of July, Orange County Convention Center, Orlando, Florida, the most humid place in the world in the summertime. Not looking forward to that. But let's talk about new product. I got one more to talk about. And before I get to it, do me a favor. Click subscribe down below, guys. If you can, hit the get notifications bell. That makes sure our videos get into your feed. Also, if you have any questions or comments about this new product, put them down below and we'll be happy to get back to you. So what is the last product I'm going to talk about as a release for Shimano in the second half of 2025? That'd be new line additions to Talica. So Talica 40 and 50 2-speed have just been dropped. They're carrying a lot of the new technology we saw in both the 12, 16, 20, and 25, which was the last releases. 40 and 50 are now. So for all you wondering about the 8 and 10, yes, those should be next. But let's talk about 40 and 50 and the specs and stats to help you guys know if it's your next bluefin tuna reel, it's your next marlin reel, it's your next whatever reel, big fish reel, this might be the one for you. The first thing we're going to talk about would be Infinity Drive, which we saw. Again, these are not new technologies to Talica. These started in the 12 and 16. But Infinity Drive is really interesting because it's almost like a dual cam or dual drag that really has improved the winding lightness, even in high drag situations. Traditionally with lever drag reels, when you crank that lever up, the harder you push on it, the more pressure it puts on the side plate of the reel, the more stiff the reel becomes when you're turning. Well, this new Infinity Drive has actually allowed for 30% lighter rotation of the handle, even under high drag situations. So whether you're fighting those big bluefins or marlin or whatever, when you crank that lever drag up, you still have that really light winding feel. It's actually very impressive. So that is Infinity Drive, and it is also in the 40 and 50 size, the 2-speeds. Another thing, obviously, this is a saltwater reel being as big as it is. It does have XProtect, which is, you know, high-level water resistance in vital areas around bearings and handles and stuff like that. And you do all that, again, without adding heavy rotational feel by using rubber gaskets and stuff like that around these areas. So when you combine Infinity Drive with XProtect, you really get a light winding reel, smooth, easy on the angler, a lot of pressure applied, and a lot of longevity in this reel. Hagane body is obviously there as well. This means it's an all-metal, all-aluminum body, uni-frame. And when we talk about the shape of the reel, the handle side is one thing. S-compact body has been a technology Shimano's had for a number of years. I remember it back in the Calcutta days. S-compact body means that the palming side plate is smaller than the handle side plate. And what that does is it allows you to grip that reel a little better because your hand is turning, your free hand is grabbing the palming side plate. Well, this new TAC 40 and 50, like the other TACs 12, 16, 20, and 25, is the palming side plate is even 6% smaller than the previous generation of this reel. So they've even reduced it further, making this reel way more comfortable in your hand. When we talk about stopping power, cross carbon drags, super resistant to high heat, hard long runs, wahoo, doesn't matter. These drag washers are built to last. With this lever drag, with Infinity Drive, they kick out 66 pounds of stopping power in both the 42 speed and the 52 speed. And the reel actually comes with another cam if you're fishing mono. So you have a braid cam and you have a mono cam. So depending what you're fishing, if you're using this as a tournament billfish reel and you're spooling up 50-pound mono, you can put the mono cam on this thing. If you're running 80-pound braid or 100-pound braid or 150-pound braid or 200-pound braid, you can throw the braid cam that's going to kick out the full 66 pounds of stopping power. When we talk bearings, this is again built for saltwater, shielded anti-rust bearings, S-ARBs. There are 7 of them in the 42 speed and the 52 speed. And when we talk about the weight of this reel, this is a monster reel. It is big, it is bulky, it is 54.7 ounces on the 40 and 55.7 ounces on the 50. Now we say 2-speed. That means that this reel has a low gear and a high gear. The difference in gear ratio, one is an absolute winch. The low gear is 1.7 to 1, bringing in 19 inches of line per handle turn. I mean, you can basically drag a car up from the bottom. On the high side, it jumps up to 4 to 1, which brings in 46 inches of line per handle turn, which is phenomenal for when you're backing down on billfish or you need to get baits in. Any of those reasons why bringing stuff up from the bottom, if you're not in a tug of war, you got 46 inches of line per handle turn. But if you got something that's really stubborn, you've got 19 inches of line per handle turn. It's going to give you that leverage to really turn that handle and continuously bring that fish or your bait in from the bottom. When we talk about turning that big handle, 90 millimeter handle on both the 40 and 50 as well. And MSRP on this reel, this one's not for the faint of heart. This is a premium. Talica is like a flagship reel for Shimano in the conventional lever drag system. $16.99 for the 42 speed, $17.99 USD for the 52 speed. I mean, there you have it, guys. That is Shimano's flagship big reel. This is the big boy now, 40 and 50 size. They did add a 40 size. I believe last time they didn't have the 40. And the reason was a lot of requests from anglers for a size in between 25 and 50. So that 40 is going to fit right in there. And if you're wondering about line capacity, can it hold line? The 42 speed will hold 1,000 yards of 80-pound Power Pro, and the 50 will hold 1,120 yards of 80-pound Power Pro. So line capacity should not be an issue no matter what you're using the reel for. There you have it, guys. That is a walk through the new 2025 Shimano Talica line editions in the 2 speeds, 40 and 50 size. If you guys can do me a favor, click subscribe down below. That makes sure our videos get into your feed, and you do that by hitting the get notifications bell. Also, thumbs up on the likes, but if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. We love talking to you guys about the gear. It's what we live to do. If you have any questions about where this reel will work for you, one thing to remember, I get a lot of questions from people outside of North America. These specs and these stats are for the North American versions of this reel. Shimano is a global company, so they do make other models of these reels with different gear ratios, different specs, sometimes for different markets, because it all depends on what the market needs. So if you ask me a question, I will try to find out, but if you're not from North America and you're asking for something very specific, I may not have the information on that, but just to give you a heads up, it's always available. You go to fish.shimano.com, select your country in the top right corner, and that'll allow you to actually see what's available to your market, because there are a ton of reels and rods available that are not in North America, that are exclusive to other markets. There you have it, guys. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all having fun. Most importantly, I hope you're all catching some fish. I'll see you down in Orlando for the next video. Talk to you soon.